Welcome to Energetic Groups. So you're going to find that on this page, we have this video with me. We're going to talk about very important aspects of especially your intention and your energy about, before you create your group or when you're ready to be more present, to connect with your group at a different level. So regardless if you don't have a group, a Facebook group, or if you just started a Facebook group, or if you have a Facebook group for a while, this video is going to support you to align energetically to why you have a group. And you're going to find that below this video, there are other trainings available for you. Some trainings from my team, because they are the ones that do that step. I'm not going to share something that I don't do with you. And as where I am today, I do have some members that do some of these pieces, especially in regards to group. So they will be sharing their expertise here in the videos below. And also we're going to talk about ideas of how you can fuel your group. And I actually wanted to invite you, when you watch this video, we're going to have a thread on a Facebook group, and you can share, maybe you have other ideas that are not below, and you can share what works for you. As everything in business, the most important thing is your attitude, your mindset, and your consistency. With this in place, you can create anything you want. You can create amazing groups, you can make amazing launches, you can have a very, very successful business. But before you do everything, make sure those things are in place. Make sure your intention are in the right place. So I want to start talking about the history, right? My history, and I teach from my perspective what worked and what didn't work for me. And I trust that by doing so, I am going to help you to make a shortcut from where you are to where you want to get. So for me, as you know, right now, by the time that I'm recording this video, I've been in this business for 7 years. And when I started with the Akashic Records Institute, I don't even remember if we actually had Facebook groups at that time. I think we didn't. Facebook groups came in a little later than when I started my business. So basically, 7 years ago, we had fan page. It was very important at that time to have a big group of people and, big followers on your fan page. Today, nowadays, does not matter by the time I'm recording this video. And at that time, the biggest focus for everyone was to build a mailing list, like mailing list, blogs. Those are the things that were very hot 7 years ago when I started this business. I believe that I would say that about my first Facebook group was created in 2016. At the time, I was working with someone in Brazil. He was doing the marketing for Brazil for me. And he really wanted me to create a Facebook group. And I'm like, no, thank you. I don't have time for that. So that was 2016, which was 4 years ago. So 4 years ago was when I created my first Facebook group. I believe that I did only in Portuguese for a while. And then after that, I did saw results. At that time, we did a launch for Brazil for the program that we do have in English, is the Dive, Intuition Deep Dive, that you have here in Legacy Accelerator. So at that time, we had, we did the group strategy, and we did a launch with a webinar only. And I believe we had like 100 enrollments, and was the greatest enrollments by then it was my biggest enrollments that I ever had in 2016. So I saw that worked to have a group, to be consistent in a group, especially between launches and especially during launch. The strategy that I used then is different than today. I wasn't doing workshops then. I started doing a 5-day challenge in 2017. But in 2016, all I did was webinars. And I had a great enrollment for Brazil by having a group. So I saw the results and said, okay, let's do a group in English. So we created a group in English. So those groups are still open, and is the Akashic Records Institute group. At the time, the intention behind creating an Instituto Registros Akásicos for Portuguese, right? At the time when I created those groups, my intention was to share about the Akashic Records and invite those that wanted to go deeper to go through our Akashic Records certification. Nowadays, I am not putting too much energy in these groups, although I do have our Tuesday, Akashic Tuesdays, right? So I do Akashic Tuesdays in that group. But because I do on StreamYard, I do in that group, and I do in my current group that I'm bringing more attention to it, which is the Energetic Business Breakthrough in English, right? In Portuguese, I also have 2 groups. So right now I have 2 groups in English and 2 groups in Portuguese. The Akashic Records Institute, it's an older group that I may have for maybe 4 years or so. And that group I built for 8,000 people, yet I don't know who those people are. I know some, right? But most of the people that are there, I don't know who they are. I don't know, some of them may even not have a Facebook account. So that group got to a place where the engagement wasn't good. And because of that I made the decision of March of this year. Right now, the time that I'm recording this video is November, right? So I created the Energetic Business Breakthrough actually in June of this year. Actually, I created another group in March and I closed it. And I decided to create Energetic Business Breakthrough this year in June. Right now, we are in November, and we have, I believe, about 2,000 people. In this group, I made 3 launches, and every launch we have a budget to that, we are seeing, because our main focus to bring people to this group is Facebook ads. It does not mean that is going to be the strategy that you're going to use. I'm just sharing what worked for me. And if you are not in the place to invest to grow your group, we have a lot of resources that teach you how to grow your group organically. Of course, you will determine the speed that group is going to grow, depending on what are you putting on it. If you're doing just ads, it's going to grow at a speed. If you're doing ads plus organic connection, it will grow at a great speed. If you're just doing organic connections, it's going to grow at a different speed, not as fast as ads. But again, it's your choice. You get to choose, right? So, and again, from my experience, starting in June to now, we have about 2,000 something people, right? And I probably invested about I believe that I invested $6,000 in my first launch. My second one, I invested $3,500. And the third one, I invested $6,000. Do you have to invest that in your group? No, absolutely not. This is what we did. Again, depends of where you are. I'm always a person that I'm investing high in my business. That is where I am. You choose where you want it to be. But from, about 4 or 5 months, we grow to 2,000. But not only that, we do, Cine and Sarah knows exactly who is there. Cine and Sarah are in contact with most active members in that group. And that is the best way, the best place to focus your attention and your energy, in that personal connection. Again, comparing both my groups, the Akashic Records Institute group, I didn't do that at that time, right? And because of that, the engagement is very low. When we have time, sometimes Cine goes in there and start making some connections, and she got some results from the connections she made. It's just, again, it's just the matter of where you are and where is the most important place to focus on. I also know that the Akashic Records group, it's not really those that wanted to grow a successful business. There is a lot of people in the Akashic Records group that just are curious, I just, want whatever. It's not the focus. And one of the points to understand that is that my energy behind when I created that group then was very different of my intention and energy now as I create the Energetic Business Breakthrough. So we have a lot of questions about, do I close my old group? Do I start a new group? And again, it's really going to depend. For us to try to re-engage 8,000 people that most of them are spammers, most of them are people from countries that are not really interested in investing in the programs that I have, it wasn't that the best place to put our energy and our time. Now, those that are in the Energetic Business Breakthrough, we are doing specific targeting in Facebook ads that are getting more of my ideal client, right? So it's going to be something that you're going to determine. If you have a small group and you really want to close that group, what I suggest is to send a personal message for every person in the group to bring them to the new group, or just keep the group and make an announcement and change your energy and your intention for the group then. Either way will be good. But again, you just don't want to have low frequency energy, people that are not there for who you are now. I was a very different person 4 years ago, and right now I'm showing up differently and I'm attracting rock stars like you, right? So it's very, very different. And I made the choice to have a new Facebook group. So as you're watching this training, I wanted to take some time as you finish this video to set your intention. Why are you creating a Facebook group? Maybe you're creating a Facebook group to, grow your group of clients, right? Regardless if you are focusing on one-on-one service or group service, you may, your main intention, and it is what it is, right? Your main intention is to attract clients to work with you. That could be one intention. Maybe your other intention could be brand awareness, right? So like for Brazil, I'm in a different place in Brazil than in the United States in my business, right? So for Brazil, everything that I do there, it's brand awareness. It is different. It's just because that's where I am. So you need to have a intention behind why you're creating the group and what you are giving to those in the group and what you're getting it back. It's all about the energy that goes and comes, flow. Everything that you give out in all interactions that you have in your life, it will going to come back to you. So having that intention to start is very powerful and is going to get the results that you want, right? So set your intention for your group. Could be more than one, right? And then once you set your intention, you're going to set, looking at your calendar, looking at your time, and you set what you're going to give to the group, right? So for example, in order to grow my group and to continue, the engagement in my group, which is something important, I have the support of my team, right? So if you're doing by yourself, you just have to think about those pieces, and whatever you decide, make sure that you have a plan to fulfill them. So I made the choice to do 3 lives a week. Today, maybe in a month, I will change my mind and it's my group. I do whatever I want. I can do 1 live a week if I decide, right? But for the time being, we are doing 3 lives. I'm showing up in English for 3 lives a week. Is that what you need to do? Absolutely not. 1 live a week, it's already very powerful and will be very helpful for the engagement of your group. Right? So choose how much you want to show up, either live or with your posts or with your blog or with your podcast. Whatever it is that you have, those pieces can support the engagement in your group. So make a choice of how you want to show up. make a plan to either personally message 10 group members a day. Always message the people. And again, there is a training for that, but you always wanted to give a welcome to those that join your group. And you can make the choice to have your group open. Anyone can post anything, or only you and your team can post. I made the choice that only me and my team post. The people that join my group, they are there to learn and to expand their awareness, to learn more and more. I don't want to, newbies giving opinions that it's not something that I would advise. So I keep it simple. Nobody posts in my group. If the people that are not joining with the intention to learn, they can just leave my group. That is my choice. And again, some people like to have that engagement. And that engagement, though, it does help your Facebook algorithm. But again, it's a choice, and it's your intention, and it's your home, and you choose how you want to run your house. So those are the things to consider. How you're going to have that engagement, or if you are going to set the stage of your group for a learning place, make sure that you set your calendar so you can show up and teach and inspire, or whatever it is that you do, right? So I made the choice to show up 3 times a week. That's how I show up to my group. And then I have Cine and Sarah that does their thing in the way that aligns with them. They make the welcomes for everyone. There will be a training from Cine. They make the personal messages. They are going to start playing with Reels now. We're all having so much fun right now at the time we're doing this video with the Reels, which is the big thing. So, the best way to look at your group is make sure you have fun. Make sure you show up when and how and in the way that brings you joy, that lifts your energy, right? If you're giving your energy and your inspiration and your wisdom, make sure that is in the way that you like to do it, right? And again, we are talking about energetic groups. You can do all the right things, all the tactics that people say that works for them in their groups. But if your energy is not aligned, if you're not in the right energy, in the right mindset, and having the consistency, it ain't gonna work, guys. It ain't gonna work. So it's not about the tactics. We're talking about the tactics here. We're gonna have lots of ideas for you, but the most important thing is your energy, is that you enjoy being present in your group. And if you don't enjoy, then we have come to the mentoring session with me, and we're going to figure out something that you will enjoy. Maybe it's not groups, maybe it's something else, right? And again, this is a training on energetic groups. So you take it what aligns for you and what is important for you. So we talk about intention, and now let's talk about attitude. And if you're working with me for a while, you heard me say this many, many times, there is no overnight success. It took me time to build my group. This year, I built my group fast because I made the choice to put a lot of money to grow my group. You don't have to, again. But the most important thing is to understand that the energy that you're going to put, you get your reactions. You may not get the immediate reaction. You may have, for you, it may be that you have to do weekly lives for 3 months until people start showing up and commenting your lives. I don't know. Or it could be that it take you longer or less time. I don't even look at the comments on my live. Sometimes, when people comment later, then Facebook notifies me. Sometimes if I have time, I'll go there and I comment, I put a heart, I answer something that I may have not seen it before. But I don't look at how many people are liking my post, how many people are commenting in my post, because I know that some people, like me, will never comment under a video. Some people may buy whenever they are ready to buy my training, if that is something that will support them, if that's aligned for them. I don't have the intention that every single person that watches my live is the right client for me. And I actually think the opposite. I make sure to say things in my lives that will, retract, that will, how do you say that in English? That will, shy away people that are not aligned. I don't want to work with everyone. I want to work with brilliant people like you that are ready to do the work and get results, right? If you're here in Legacy Accelerator, that's you. And there is a lot of people that are very different. They're in a very different place. There is a lot of people that are the dabblers, or I don't know, but they're just not in alignment. So I make sure to say that in my life. And this is something that you can do too. Make sure to be very specific. Who is your 1%? And with love and compassion, of course, but you can do like small, that for most people, they're not even going to notice that you're telling them that they're not for you, but they're going to stop watching your lives. But if you make a post and go back, like, is anybody liking, is anybody not liking, they got a sad face, they got a happy face, it doesn't matter. And sometimes during the lives, people may even click a heart and then show up an angry face. It has nothing to do. Make sure to be very, very clear to not sabotage yourself by making interpretations based on people's reaction during your life or after your life. When I repeat this, every single thing that you experience today is a result of the choices you made a year ago, 3 months ago. I don't know when, but it was definitely not about the choice you made last week. Right? So be very aware of how you could sabotage yourself if you get yourself in a place of frustration, impatience, and any of those contraction feelings that will sabotage you. It's about showing up and giving from your heart and knowing that every action has a reaction. Maybe people are going to buy your training, they're not even in your group. It happened with me so many times. Someone watched my YouTube video and they'll just buy a training with me without participating in any workshop or anything. And again, I am that person. When I in 2 seconds, I can make a decision if I am going to invest in myself through that opportunity. And I will take everything that I learn with the responsibility to know that I am the one who has to take me there, right? Because I know how to work my energy, just like you're learning here. So be very aware of your attitude. Everything that goes out comes back in. You plant seeds, plant good seeds, you get good seeds back. You plant not so good seeds, you're gonna get not so good seeds back. So have that intention with your Facebook group. I had so many people that, especially in Brazil, that, can I do your course for free because I don't have money? And then, with a lot of compassion, we say no, but you can take advantage of all our free videos on YouTube and start implementing that until you're ready. Right? Because that would not be fair for the other people that are making investments to work with us. And again, that's how I see the world. And there are people that are going to like, there are people that are not going to like, and then they're just not the client for me. So pay attention on your attitude. Yet every day, wake up every day. I wonder how many amazing people I'm going to get to talk on Facebook, and I'm going to have to I'm going to get to make the invitation to join my group. Or I wonder that $5 that I put on Facebook, what amazing people that Facebook ad is right now reaching out. How fun is that I made the choice to invest $5 a day. And those $5 a day are going to come back multiplied to me in the time, space, sequence that are meant to come back to me. Every action has a reaction, but you cannot do a Facebook ad today and tomorrow be like, oh my gosh, that work didn't work. We don't know. We're only going to know with that consistency. It's that consistency that is going to bring the results, as long as you are in the right mindset, in the right attitude, right? Mindset. Need support of mindset? Come to the mentoring sessions with me. We're going to start doing mindset and healing sessions in a few weeks from now, which I'm very excited to bring that in. So make sure to be very, very aware of your energy. Debrief yourself. If, all right, this week I send 10 messages a day and I noticed that my group grew by 50 people. Yay, that works. So I'm going to repeat that next week, right? Everything that you're putting out right now, it is getting you results. But sometimes the energy and time needs to catch up from the actions that you're doing today for you to see the results, right? And again, consistency. If I could give my older self an advice, even though I'm very consistent today, but if I could give my older self an advice, be consistent. From my 2012, when I did my first coaching training, right? If I was consistent then, I would have had a completely different experience that year when I did my first training. So when I learned for the first time how to work online and all those stuffs. So be consistent in your group. Can you change your mind? Yes. Like right now I'm being consistent 3 times a week. I'm going to Brazil next month. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be consistent 3 times a week in my group. The only thing I know is that I'm going to show up for Legacy Accelerator members and the Akashic certification. Everything else, maybe will happen, maybe not. And if I get to the point that I cannot do the 3 Facebook Lives a week, we are going to figure something out. We may put some older replays, or we may change to 1 live a week. So give yourself permission to change your mind and have fun in the process. Now, below this video, like I said, there are a few other trainings. There are a training from Cini that she's going to share what she does in the connection, in welcoming members, and then keeping the engagement, because you wanted to have one type of engagement before you launch, if you're doing a launch in a group, if you're doing a workshop, and then in between launches, or if you're not doing a launch, there is a different type of engagement. So there are some trainings from Cini there of what she does to support me, and that is something that you could be doing yourself if you don't have someone to support you. And then there is a lot of trainings from Jennifer. Those of you that join Legacy Accelerator and have been coming to the weekly classes from Jennifer, you've been learning all along how to grow your Facebook group and how to improve your communication and your social media and all of that. That would, be extremely important to grow your groups. So to make it easy for you, especially if you join, like let's say you just joined this week, Legacy Accelerator, I'm going to paste below this video all the trainings that Jennifer did that help even Cini to improve the results from her actions in the group, and so many of you. So I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm going to repeat the trainings down below, all the trainings that will support you to grow your group. And if you are here in the month of November, Jennifer is teaching this month a specific class on how you are going to message the people inside your group. It is similar to the DM messaging training she did, but we are going to, if you did it already, come back again. If you watch that training, participate on this one again. The replay is going to also be down below here, because even if you learned already that from her, when you learn the second time, you're going to get, even getting even deeper. And the context now is specifically for groups for you. Now let's talk about filling up your group, right? And then remember, once again, I'm going to remind you, what is the intention that you have in your group, in having a group? Our intention through the Energetic Business Breakthrough is, number 1, to teach and to inform and to support those that are not yet ready to come and join us in the offers that we have, that we can go deeper with them. And of course, it is also to create a space to prepare and connect with those that are in alignment to join us in Legacy Accelerator. That is the intention that I have for that particular group in English. Brazil is different, it's brand awareness. So if you creating a group because you wanted to do a workshop, you wanted to do a launch, and you wanted to enroll clients, having the idea that, and this is usually for you, maybe more or less, we don't know, until you do with consistency some workshops. So let's go for a conservative way to project your conversion. Let's talk about 2%. So if you wanted to offer a workshop, a launch, to invite people to work with you, and your conversion, that the basic conversion is 2%. If you have 100 people in your group, you're probably going to have about 2 enrollments. If you have 200 people in your group, you're probably going to have 4 enrollments. And it really, can go up and down, but it's about that. So And again, we said that in the energetic aligned launches, if you're going to, my suggestion is minimum 300 people in the group. So if you're right now, let's say, have 50 people in your group and you wanted to do a launch where you're going to have at least 6 enrollments, work on getting the group until 300 people. And when you get a group to 300 people, then you announce the launch. And again, it's going to be, sometimes I find that when I did my first group this year in English, it was a different group I called Intuition Evolution. So I still have the group, but when I created the Intuition Evolution, again, I created from scratch. When I created that group, I believe we got, within 2 weeks, 200 people. And I wanted to launch in the following week. And I told them, I wanted to do a workshop for you in a week. However, we needed to have a minimum of 300 people in order for the workshop to happen. So be proactive. I told them like that, be proactive and invite your friends to this group. And they did. And we had 300 people in the other week and I did the workshop. So you can use the fact that your group don't have 300 people yet and tell them what you want them to do. Go help, go share, do a giveaway, things that to help people to bring their friends. You can do a giveaway a week because someone brought a friend. You can say, if you bring 5 friends, I'll give you a 20 minutes clarity session. You can do whatever you want, right? If you have a product, you can do that, give away that product. So do something fun, your energy until you have 300, grow that group. And ask yourself, I wonder how many strategies I can intuitively receive today, for example, that will help me to grow this group to 300 people. Or maybe it's like, I wonder, what I'm going to see that is going to inspire me to create the group. Everything is inspiration in life when you're open to receive that insight, that little, coin drop from your higher self. But you gotta be open. And if you are in contraction, it's going to be hard to be aligned with all the opportunities. Higher self is pure amusement. If you are upset with resentment, blaming others, you're not going to hear your higher self. So everything that we teach here in Legacy Accelerator is the energy aspect, is to understand that, to be aware of your energy, and not from the point of beat yourself up because you're embracing the contraction energy, but to use that, okay, I'm feeling contraction, I'm frustrated, I'm feeling this or that. All right, this is a call to stop. This is a time to run energy. This is a time to look for evidences around me. Go look for people that have like 100,000 people in their group and like, ooh, I appreciate that these people has 100,000 people in the group. That shows me that is possible. I wonder how it will feel to have 100,000 people in my group. Right? So we notice that just by tuning into that energy, it inspires you. And it comes from a place of, oh my gosh, it is possible. Someone did it. How many times people said it was impossible to maybe climb Mount Everest? And then one person, did it. And then a lot of people start going, right? There is actually a video of this climber that's sharing that he climbed El Capitan, right? And it was like, free climb. He free solo. I think that's the name of the movie, Free Solo. He climbed El Capitan. And I'm like, I climb. And it's like, this is hard to free solo that whole thing. It's like, how many people will start going, wee? So without changing the subject. So once he did it, right, in the movie, then everybody started going like, oh, it's easy, because that evidence, because people open their awareness for, it's possible, someone did it, so of course you can do, right? So I hope that help you. Now, I'm going to put these tips in below this video, but just, what are the ways that you can grow your Facebook? And again, it's not rocking science. It is what everyone do. It is what, ideas that is around, and maybe you have more ideas, come to the group and share. Hey, I did this and it worked. Let us know and ask for support. One thing that I'm exploring right now is the Reels. They just opened the Reels on Instagram like since August. So I'm starting to play with it. And getting the strong. We're gonna do a real training one of these days, but I'm still learning the ropes, right? So when I'm notice what is getting from results, which will probably be in 3 months, in 5 months, and again, I'm being consistent with the learning ropes of Reel. Everything is an experience, and the more you go into for the journey, not the destination, better that journey is going to be. So ideas, you can use your email list, send the emails to the people that are in your email list to come and join your group. I would even go further and private message the people that you have their email. Say, I'm sending you a personal email to learn about you. I don't know you in my email list for so long. So I'm tell the person by the name and literally do a personal email and see what happens. Other thing you can do is you can send one email asking one question. And then start a connection to the person, invite them to your group. You can ask your friends to share about your group. Hey guys, I created a group that talks about moving from your full-time job to have your own business, whatever group, I'm doing a group for relationships, for whatever it is that you do. Tell your friends. Your friends may not be the client for you, but they definitely know who is the client for you. And whenever I do a conversation with someone, I'm never entering that conversation if he is going to be my client. No, but I'm getting that conversation. How can I help you? Who do I know that may be supported by your services? And then I will ask that way, who do you know that could be supported by my services? I never ask directly. And that got me the most amazing results. So next, Instagram posts. You can post on Instagram, or LinkedIn, Pinterest, whatever is the social media that is your thing. Right now, for us, is Instagram and Facebook, but you can do posts both on Instagram and Facebook talking about your group. Change your timeline in your Facebook profile and in your Facebook page to get people in the group. One trick that I use, I don't only change the image, I change the image on my personal profile. I actually did that today. And then that image is going to show on my personal profile, just the image. And then I edit that image and I put the description of why I'm inviting them to it and the link to the group. So this is something that now everybody that clicks that image is going to have the description with the link group there. Make easy for people to find you, right? Never think that they know, they are computer savvy. So the more you can make it very simple, easier it is. So Instagram stories, post a story every day do one about your group, do another one could be a comment that someone did that was appreciated of your life, an aha that someone had in your life. Post that on stories. Things happen so fast, both Instagram stories and Facebook stories. You should be, if you are focusing on that, and again, only do that if it's in the right stage of your business, right? But if you're doing stories, it passes so fast, do 3 a day. Because if you do 3 a day, you're always going to be on the top when people go into Instagram. I don't do that. I have a team that does that. But what I'm saying is, if I was going to do it, and if that was my focus and energy, I have right now other more priorities for me. And again, always think about the stage of business that you are. But that is a very good strategy that I learned in Instagram training that I was taking. Actually, my team took the training and told me. So again, both Facebook messages, private messages, and Instagram private messages. Very important to either you or someone are very present in those 2 places. One time a person sent me a message on Instagram, probably she didn't see my profile or she didn't follow me at all, but she was asking me she was talking to me as I was just starting my business. And so she was making conversations with me on Instagram, trying to get me to be her client. And I answer very kindly, and she ended up joining my program, right? Because it's, connections are great. And it's all about how you go into that conversation. When I answer her, I wasn't even thinking about inviting her to my program, but because of the way that I answer, she's like, I want to work with you. I want to get what you get. So it's like everything that you do, if you do with love, or if you do without worrying about the results, you will get results from the most unexpected places. So I'm always present when someone sends me a message, and I'm always personable. That is something that I always been. Even before I had a team, most of my results from my business were from personal connections. I may have shared before, Alessandra, a girl from Brazil, she sent me a message thinking that I was someone else. And I was very friendly answering her back, and we became friends. And then she invited, I was just starting in Brazil at the time. And she I was doing a webinar. She brought so many, I think I had like 20 people that signed up because of connection with her. So everything that you do, you will bring a result, but the energy behind the actions will make great, will have an impact on those results, on that, at the end. Link to your group in your IG bio. Every time you have an Instagram, there is a place to put your website there. Again, what is your priority? If your priority is getting people in the group, go in Instagram and put your group link there. If that's your priority right now to grow your group. Remember to be focused the next 12 weeks on the most 3 things, or even 2, but 3 at the most. If grow your group, if that's something that you want to do, put that in your top priority for the next 12 weeks. Do all the steps that we teach here, Jennifer classes, very important, and show up in the right energy. You will grow your group. But again, it has to be a priority. Everything that you do in your business, you need to figure out your priorities. We have a great class for that. It's in the Tax and Hacks, in the ROI, both the ROI class, even if you could not make it live, it's there, the training for you. The ROI and the productivity training will help you to realign with your focus. Facebook personal message, Facebook personal voice message, it's even better. I made a great connection with someone because I supported her Kickstarter campaign for her Oracle deck. And I thought it was so sweet. She sent me a personal message on Facebook thanking for supporting her Oracle deck. And then we became friends out of that. And we had a great collaboration connection. I sent some people to her. She sent people to me out of one Facebook message. It's how you show up. You don't even have to have a group to get results from personal connections, especially if you are on stage 1 of your business. Your focus should not be a group. Your focus should be to have your first 3 high touch clients. And if you haven't watched the training where we go over this, is the very first training that you should watch when you join Legacy Accelerator, which is the Clarity to Profits first training. That or dive, depending on what is your goal and your intention here. You can do a 1-minute ad. Those 1-minute video ads are very cheap. You can do both on Instagram and Facebook. Record the invitation to your group for 1 minute and make it simple for people to understand what the group is about. One important thing in naming your group, what is the name that you're gonna do for your group? Make it simple. Tell me what it is. If you say, something that is very complicated that people have to think about, what is quantum, what is fifth dimension, or for the name of your group, to do a live, or it's different, but for the name of your group, tell what it is. It is a group to help moms. Tell, Moms Together, Moms United, or, working with your hypersensitive child, or, accessing your inner, your inner truth, whatever that is, that that is what is people looking for. Name it easy, make it simple, direct. What it is, tell me what it is, right? For example, Legacy Accelerator, energetically, we are talking about sovereignty. But if I say sovereignty, a lot of people don't know what that is. right? So we go for legacy, which is the same thing, but it's more easy for people to understand what it is. So Facebook 1 minute Facebook ads are great. And you can get a lot of views, and then you can target those views. That's a great Facebook ads strategy if you're doing Facebook ads. Lives, great way to grow your group. Do lives in your personal profile and invite people to the group. I think, not sure if that is 100% true, but I do have a feeling that when you do a live in your Facebook personal profile, you get more views. I don't do that because I'm very bilingual, and it will confuse a lot of people and annoys me when people are like, can you say in the other language? And like, I don't want to do that. So I don't do lives in my personal profile. If I only worked in one language, I would definitely be doing lives in my personal profile. Spend $10 a day on ads. And again, I'm giving you a bunch of suggestions. You may do some or all or 3 of them. Right? Again, I'm going to put a link below with that, all these suggestions in a page. And as we continue getting new ideas, as we continue applying, trying new things, we will be adding down below in the PDF below. We're going to be adding more ideas. Post a link from your website to your group. And again, we talk about the timeline. When you are interviewed in a podcast or on a Facebook Live, if growing your group is your priority, make sure to do that action. And remember, a lot of people, like, if you give them 3 different options, they're gonna be like, I'm so confused, I'm done. But if you give them one option, if grow your group is a priority, do that one option when someone interviews in a live, when you do a live in your personal profile, or when someone interviews in a podcast or a blog, or whatever that is. Personally invite past clients. Personally invite past colleagues or clients. Nothing can surpass the personal connection. Your Facebook friends list. All your friends on Facebook. How many people are your friends that you don't even know who they are? Start getting to know them. See if you like them to be your friends on Facebook. And if you don't like them, unfriend. Simple, right? And the more you understand that who you have around you is somehow influencing your energy, no matter, who it is or how that connection was made. But if that connection is not giving you anything back, let it go. Cut it out. Very important. The more you cut it out, the more you open the space for more high frequency aligned people to come in your group, in your life, in your business, whatever that is, right? And then network on Facebook groups that allow networking. I'm very big on respecting the policies of the Facebook group. So if there is a Facebook group where the people in alignment with what you do could benefit from your work, first thing you do is, of course, join the group, look at the rules of the group, and respect the rules. Because if you don't respect the rules, guess what? People are going to do the same thing with you in your group. Everything that goes out comes back. All right, so those are the suggestions I have. And then let's go dive deep down below this video for all the amazing trainings that both me, Jennifer, Marcos, and Cini have for you. And as always, we'll always continue bringing new technology, what works for us, and we'll be adding new videos as needed. And of course, letting you know that what is here for you. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you soon. Take care.